Thank you for staying tuned. Now, Getty Images, a world leader in visual communications, and APO Group, leading media relations consultancy, have announced a wide-reaching collaboration to promote integrated text, photo and video solutions to organizations operating across Africa and the Middle East. Getty Images, with 1 million customers today, made the important announcement related to Africa and Middle East in London. Let's bring in the Senior Vice President, Global Strategic Development at Getty Images, Lee Martins, to tell us about this collaboration. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Martins.
Good afternoon. Yes, well, we're delighted to announce this partnership with APO this morning to really grow our business with media customers and corporates throughout the African continent. We see a great opportunity here, given the relationships that APO have in place and our amazing content, both stills photography and video, to make a major mark in Africa.
Now, Getty Images is an American company. What's the attraction in Africa and, of course, Middle East?
We see the attraction very much in terms of growth. We look at all of the analysis and all of the data and stats, and it shows us, 7 out of the 10 top growing countries this year will be in Africa. We see most countries in Africa growing by, plus 5% in 2019 in terms of revenue growth, and we very much see that as an opportunity. And we also see the ability to use our platform, our global distribution platform, to create new imagery for Africa, to create imagery that is real, authentic, local, and actually portray that imagery not just inside of Africa, but outside of Africa globally as well.
Okay, so how does Getty Images work for many sports, events, federations, and how can partnering with APO Group broaden reach in Africa?
So Getty Images already works with a number of sports governing bodies, in excess of 50 sports governing bodies around the world, from FIFA to the International Olympic Committee. And we've already started to work with APO on the African rugby, and we've also had talks with CAF recently about the African Nations Cup. And we again see, through the power of our platform, the ability to distribute that content to a global audience.
Now, in this partnership with APO, who are the major beneficiaries?
In the partnership with APO, we see media companies in Africa, broadcasters and corporates having a much higher level of photographic and video content to license for their own businesses. So we see mutual benefit for many stakeholders.
Aside from this partnership with APO Group, are there other growth plans you may wish to share with us?
I really do hope that as we look forward, say 2 years, we have created an image bank of photography that is, as I said earlier, really, really real and relevant for the African market, the African continent, and that we can hope take that very positive imagery and portray it to the world.
All right, thank you for your time, Lee. Thank you for joining us. Lee Martins is the Senior Vice President, Global Strategic Development at Getty Images. At the equities market, of course, the indices in recent times has seen losses from MTN Nigeria's EFCC probe. Now, OandO PLC's forensic investigation seems to be rocking the market. On Friday, the Securities and Exchange Commission announced the conclusion of the investigation of OandO and ordered the group Chief Executive Officer and other affected board members to resign. Well, it's the first trading day after that announcement. Let's join Temple Ashaju at the exchange for more on this. Good afternoon, Temple. So what's the latest on OandO and how is the market reacting to that news?
Well, typically when news like this hits the markets, companies that are affected will certainly experienced some huge decline, and that was what we saw on the share price of OandO in early trades. It lost some 9.52%. Currently, we've seen some 22 million units plus of its shares, being traded off in the market. A lot of investors are selling down on it. However, at noon, that's at midday trading session, we understand that the earlier trend we saw on it before has actually changed. In early trades, it was actually on offer, but we understand that the offer has actually now, kind of moderated with some demand in the market. Whatever is responsible for that, we, are yet to know on the side of the market. Those of us watching the numbers here, we haven't really understood what has actually changed that perception of us, of OandO in the market. So, but as we speak, quite a number of companies are actually deeping in the market. The share prices of companies are right now are really falling. Seplat in the same oil and gas segment of the market is down by 9.07%. You also have a couple of companies under the consumer goods segment of the market are currently down. So, but overall, the market is down by about 0.5%. As we speak, it doesn't look like it's a good day. Again, maybe because there's a holiday break. There's a holiday tomorrow and next. And so perhaps some investors want to trade up so that they can then see how the markets will pan out. So that will possibly be able to shape their investment direction going forward, Chimizu.
Sure. Perhaps when the market resumes on Thursday, we'll get to know what the situation is. Thank you, Temple. And in South Africa, the seasonally adjusted Absa Purchasing Managers Index for May fell as business activity and new sales orders declined. The index, which gauges manufacturing activity in Africa's most industrialized economy, slipped to 45.4 in May from 47.2 in April, below the 50 mark that separates contraction from expansion. And South African Airways CEO Vuyani Jarana has resigned after less than 2 years in the job, saying his turnaround strategy for the loss-making airline is being undermined by a lack of state funding and too much bureaucracy. Jarana's departure, announced in a letter to the chairperson of the airline's board dated May 29, highlights the challenges facing South African President Cyril Ramaphosa as he seeks to speed up reforms at South African Airways and other state-owned entities. They are dependent on government bailouts and are regularly cited by ratings agencies as one of the main threats to the country's economic growth. Jarana, a former executive of telecoms company Vodacom, was appointed in late 2017 to implement a strategy to return the airline to profit and wean it off government bailouts. South Africa Airways, which has not made a profit since 2011, has drawn up a 5-year turnaround plan that includes slashing costs and cancelling unprofitable routes as it grapples with cost increases that far outstrips revenue growth. And Vedanta Resources is seeking international arbitration over Zambia's appointment of a provisional liquidator to run the company's Konkola copper mines business. The global mining conglomerate says its executives were unable to visit its KCM operation and engage with local management in a setback to efforts to ease tensions amid a legal battle with Africa's second biggest copper producer. The Zambian government has accused KCM of breaching its operating license. Legal proceedings have been adjourned until June the 4th. The tussle is the latest legal challenge confronting Vedanta, which has been facing opposition from authorities and locals over alleged violations across continents, from Tutkundi, located near India's southern tip, to Chingola in Zambia's copper belt. And that's it on the show. Thank you for watching. I'm Chimizi Obi Iwagu.